So we'll just give it a few minutes to allow people to join. I'm gonna share the video. So come on in, y'all. Come on in. Let's see.
Okay, there we go.
Come on in. And I feel like I need to have a theme song.
Right. Like a beat or something going
on. Is everything looking good on your end?
Yep, we're all good over here.
All right, so we'll go ahead and get started while people are joining. Just want to let everyone know, for people who are new to S.H.E.R.O Spotlight, my name is Alicia Perkins. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I have worked in the mental health field for 21 years. That makes it this year. And so how did S.H.E.R.O Spotlight start? Well, when I was going through my deepest, darkest moment in life, when I was getting divorced and also finding out that I'm going to be a single mom, of course, that was a very hard time for me. And I had some adversities during that time, but I was able to overcome it. And so when I thought about everything I went through, it was this acronym that I created that helped me through, which is, everybody know the word S.H.E.R.O stands for female hero, but I made an acronym out of it. S stands for sacrificing for my child. H is healing from my past hurts. E is evolving into what God wants me to be. R is revealing my truth. And O is obtaining my goals and happiness, because that's what helped me through. And so S.H.E.R.O Spotlight, basically, I just wanted other mothers to share their stories. And so I chose mothers that exemplify the acronym S.H.E.R.O that I created. And so each month, starting in the month of January, I had a female come and they just shared their wonderful story. And every month, I must say, I have been so inspired. And so if you haven't seen the lives, if you haven't joined the lives before, we do still have the recordings out there. So definitely check that out. But today, I'm so happy to have Elayna Mateen as my S.H.E.R.O. I'm so glad that she agreed to do this. So before we get started and jump into your whole journey, Elayna, I just want you to tell the people who you are, where you're from.
All right. Thanks for that introduction. Thanks for having me today. So my name is Elayna Mateen. I am from New Jersey, Jersey girl, born and raised. I've been in North Carolina for about 11 years now. And I'm one of the, I don't know if I'm jumping ahead here, but I'm one of the owners, myself with my husband, of Crumbstruction, Catering and Food Truck, and soon to be Crumbstruction Express.
Yes. And so, like I said, for the ladies that I have as my S.H.E.R.O, I want them to discuss and share their stories to help other women that may be going through the same things, because of course we all have adversity sometimes, and sometimes we think we're alone. So hearing other people's stories and hearing them overcome can help someone. So you shared your information about where you're from and everything like that. So I want you to talk about your family. I always want to start off with that. Your kids, I know you're married, but you started off being a single mom.
I did. So I'm a mother of 4. Myself and my husband, we do the business together. But yeah, so my first child, who is going to be a senior next year, which I just cannot believe, graduating.
Oh,
I had him
wow.
I had him 8 days before my 21st birthday. So that was interesting. You know, I definitely saw my life maybe being out in the club or something like that. But I had this baby who was colicky, crying, spitting up everywhere. So that was very, very different for me. And I had Bilal, my oldest, and then when he was about 2 years old, a little over 2, I met my husband, and we've been rocking out since then. We have had 3 more kids since then, so we're a family of 6. We have 2 boys, 2 girls. Yeah, our youngest is a pre-K, and again, our oldest is about to be a senior. So
wow, and Elayna looking all young and everything. I'm just saying. So I see some people on the live, and hello to everyone out there. Thank you guys for joining us. And so tell us a little bit about your upbringing. How did your childhood influence you to start cooking and your love of cooking?
All right, so I've always had a love for eating, always liked to eat. And when I was a kid, I played a lot of sports, and people were like, "Okay, that's gonna catch up with you." You know, you don't believe it at the time, but that food does start getting you. And my parents, so both my grandmothers were amazing cooks and chefs. My dad's mom's from the South, and my mom's mom, she's from Philadelphia, but we have some Bayesian blood, and it's her parents and family are from Barbados. So they both cooked, I mean, all different types of food, delicious food. Now my mom, she is like one of the most amazing cooks. Like she has the best food, hands down.
Yes.
I can say I think my mom cooks better than anyone's mom. My
Okay.
mom, she literally, she wrote a cookbook when I was
Mhm.
younger, and she gave it out to family and friends. I would honestly love to see her publish that one day. I think she's on the line, so we definitely need to make that happen. But I mean, to this day, I still use some of those recipes moving forward. You know, if I need some hands, like I always say, I want to go on that show with Amazing Race. It would be me, my mom, and my husband. Like seriously, she's retired, but she would have to come out of retirement.
I love
Um,
that.
so my mom like cooks, and like when we had gatherings, we had a lot of things at our house, you know, family gatherings, and
Mhm.
everyone just loved the food. So I feel like food just brings people together, like good food. You know what I mean? It just
Mhm.
it starts conversations. People from all different types walks of life can always talk over some good food or find something in common with that. So I
Mhm.
always love to eat, and then I kind of just here and there started cooking, or you know, looking at what my mom was doing and recreating that. And
Mhm.
it's like a good feeling when people are like, oh, this is like really good that you made, you know what I mean? So yeah, that all played a part in
I love that. And so, yeah, I see
it.
you on there, Mom. You got to publish that cookbook.
Okay, I'll see your name on
And I
there.
agree. I'm such a foodie. I love food. I love meeting people out to eat. I love
Mhm.
trying different restaurants. I just don't like to cook. That's the difference between you and I. I just like to eat. Now, the cooking, no, thank you. So when we talk about family a little bit more, you have, like you said, you have 4 children in different ages.
Mhm.
So how do you find time as a mom and as wife to spend time with your kids, and each one of them are different, and just being able to also maintain a business doing that?
Yeah, they are. You definitely have to stay prayed up. I don't know who you guys believe in, but prayer, a couple tears here and there, and just like you know, throwing something out there and hoping that it works out. But honestly, like you know, I take it day by day personally. Like some
Mhm.
days I'm like, oh, I'm doing this. Like we got this under control. Everybody's you know bathed. Everybody ate. Everyone's happy. They got the work done. You know, and
Right.
then I business stuff and have some time for myself. I'm like, okay. And just when you think you're getting the hang of it, you're like the next day it's just like, come on, like what's going on here? You know, like someone has issue here, someone's not happy about this. Like you said, it's 4 different personalities. The
Right.
business is like a fifth baby. So then I'm dealing with customers too. And you're like, you know,
Right.
so some days it works out, some days it works out good.
Mhm.
And I feel really like, okay, I've got this. And other days it's like, okay, I need to go back to the drawing board. And but my
Mhm.
kids are happy, they're loved, they're, you know, well taken care of. And we have a great like support system and
Yeah,
around.
that's what I was going to ask, because I'm sure sometimes you're not able to attend activities and things like that because you are running a business. And so I'm sure
Yeah.
that support system, that's when they come in handy.
For sure. Because growing up, like I said, I played sports. Like every season, I was in a sport: soccer, softball, track. My husband, he plays sports as well:
Mhm.
football, basketball. So it is hard for me because with 4 kids in a business, like honestly, they're not able to do all the sports probably like every season that I would like. But we do have them in some things, and I like before we sign them up, and I'm like asking my mom and my sister, like, what days can you do? Like, can you do this? Can you do that? And if it works out, I really don't like to have to like lean on anyone. Looking for a nanny, so like a you know nanny that can work free of charge. Hit me up down in the comments.
Good luck
But
with
yeah,
that.
like right. You know, we could barter some food and services. But yeah, but this year I've decided that everybody's gonna play anything that they ask to play. We're gonna figure
Mhm.
out make it work. So
Good. And you brought up a good point. You said help, because I'm a person, I don't really like asking people for help
yeah, it's so
either.
hard. Yeah.
So how do you get to that point to reach out and ask people for help?
Like desperation probably is is like the only option, honestly. Can't you know can't call out of work. I'll be calling myself and telling myself you still have to come in, you know.
Mhm.
um and then they're like, oh, you know, I really need to make this. Or and like my girls, they did soccer, they were really good. Like they
Mhm.
were like my one daughter, I was actually kind of coaching her team, but then it was kind of like it didn't work out just because of my schedule. But she was like one of the main scorers on her team, so it was like,
Mhm.
oh, we got to get you guys to these activities. So yeah, just like desperation, just asking people, having
Right.
to like basically suck up my pride and know that the people who we asked, which was my mom, my sister, my friends, been helping me out too.
Right.
Sometimes with like our little one here and there, but knowing that they're not like gonna throw that back in your face, or they're not like that you're asking people who generally love you and want to help, want to see you do well.
Right.
Um, so it's like the people that you have to choose the right people to be in
Right.
your corner.
That's key. And just not being afraid to ask for help. And that goes for everybody out
Yeah.
there. Don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah, it's hard though, I know.
And so another thing, you work with your husband. I mean, can I get a show of hands? How many people out there don't want to work with their spouse? So
No.
that's, you guys together probably 24/7. So how do you balance that? And how do you keep that separate, business from personal?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, honestly, when we moved down here, because we're both from New Jersey, so when we moved down here about 11 years ago, we really didn't have any friends for, I'll say, like 5 or 6 of those years. So,
Mhm.
we really have become each other's best friend. You know what I mean? Like we laugh, we joke, we get irritated with each other, but at the end of the day, it's like, we're still in this thing, so get over it. It's not you can ignore a coworker or something like that. Um,
Right.
you just have to have like a level of respect for each other. But honestly, I think it's awesome. Like I like to be around him. We can make crack like little jokes with each other. We get each other
Uh-huh.
inside jokes, and we both know that we're there like for the same goal, like the end goal. Like we want to start more businesses. We want to be able to take more trips, be able to support our family the way we want to support our family. So we're both like working hard together,
Mhm.
equally to achieve the same goal. So I mean, some days are just like, but really that's less days than none. Like we really have a good time on the truck, and anyone who works with us on the truck, they'll tell you like you two are a whole, like you're clowns. Like we both just joke all day most of the time.
Good. I
See,
see
we
a
pray
lot of
together.
hearts
We
out
pray
there.
together before we start
Right.
cooking anything. We pray every time before we get on the truck,
No.
and yeah, we just definitely keep God involved in it as well.
Yeah, that's key. I see a lot of hearts out there. I see
Thank
your husband
you.
say it all too. All love, baby. All day. That's sweet.
You try to get some extra points.
Yeah, exactly. So speaking of goals, when you have led me into the next thing to talk about is your vision and having goals. So like you shared earlier, your business name is Crumbstruction, Catering, and Food Truck. So share with the people your Instagram, your social media, and we'll put that in the chat so people can follow you all. Give us that information first before we get more into your vision.
Okay. So you can follow us on Facebook at Crumbstruction Catering and Food Truck. That's obviously for our catering and food truck page. And then you can also follow us at Crumbstruction Express. So that's like an X, the letter X, and then PRESS. That's Sam Express. On Instagram, you can follow us at Crumbstruction and at Crumbstruction Express.
Now tell the people what y'all serve now.
Okay, all right. So catering, we do just about any and everything. This year I'll say the past 3 years. Past 3 years we've done we catered the PNC Arena for Martin Lawrence's comedy show. We did an event for
Wow.
3,000 people out at the fairground. We catered a barn warming. We did October Fest for a company. So we literally make anything. We can cater and cook everything well. And you can find a list of our menu at www.crumbstruction.com. On the food truck, we have a specialty. So we do egg rolls on the food truck. And on the food truck, we do egg rolls, sweet and savory. So we do cheesesteak egg rolls, jerk chicken egg rolls, buffalo chicken, mac and cheese.
Yes.
We also do some dessert options as far as egg rolls are concerned. We do cheesecake, Snickers, and apple pie. And then we do loaded fries. So we have like cheesesteak, loaded fry, buffalo chicken, and wings as well. Sometimes we do wings. So that's what we do on the truck.
Right.
Crumbstruction Express is coming this fall. That's our ghost kitchen / restaurant. It's coming here to Wake Forest. If anyone is familiar with Wake Forest, it's at the old Golden Corral. And if you're not familiar with the ghost kitchen, so basically what it is, it's going to be about 4 restaurants in there, and you can order to go. So you can go on the website for the Flavor District. It's called the Flavor District. You can go on there. And let's say you have a picky family, like we have 6 people, right? So it's hard to order from one place that everyone likes. Of course, you can come to us, Crumbstruction Express, you can buy something for everyone. I want to say that.
Right.
But in the event that you could not, basically you go on the website for the Flavor District, there's 14 restaurants. So you can say, I want to order from Crumbstruction Express. I want to order from this restaurant and that restaurant. You place that order and it's all delivered right to you. Or you can pick up at the door, DoorDash, or we'll have a delivery company as well. So it's all to go. There's no seating inside, but you can order from us or you can order from everyone and make it a party. It's really like kind of a new way, I think. After COVID, when a lot of restaurants and things were closed down, ghost kitchens are really something that's up and coming as far as restaurants.
Right. Wow. Did you guys hear all that? that she is doing, they're doing. And then also you real briefly, a cookbook that's in the works as well, right?
Yes, we do have a cookbook coming. Myself and my husband. It should have already been, coming out, but we're doing a lot. So we have, some more recipes we have to lock down and get in there. I really hope to bring that out to you guys maybe by, like, let's say the end of this year,
Mhm.
early next year. But we have a cookbook coming out. We also sell sauces and seasonings, homemade sauces and seasonings. They're amazing. You can ask anyone. Like, our all-purpose seasoning. We have a steak seasoning. We have a seafood seasoning. We have some amazing homemade sauces and things like that. You can also get that at www.crumbstruction.com. Go to products, click on them, buy them all. They're there and available for you.
I love it. And so they get my stamp of approval because, like I told y'all, I'm a foodie. I'm serious about my stuff.
Thank
So I was
you.
one of their meal prep customers for a while, and their food is delicious. I've been to one of their catering events, just amazing. And they're very professional, really great customer service as well. So as you all hear all these great things they have, and they have made it to certain, doing catering events for Martin Lawrence comedy and just all these great things. But of course, there's always a journey. People always sometimes see the great things, but don't know all you've been through. So when did you first envision having a food truck or a restaurant?
So about 9 years ago, I attended culinary school at the Chef's Academy. It was actually for baking and pastry arts. And I had this final due for a class where we had to, like, come up with a business plan for some type of business. And the business I chose was actually a food truck. I think it was like, I was like, we're gonna do cheesesteaks or something like that. So
Mhm.
we do cheesesteak egg rolls as our top seller. But I wrote this whole plan out, like, with this truck. And I'm like, this is actually a great idea. And my teacher thought so too, because I got 100% on that final. So about 9 years ago is when we thought about doing the food truck. We had been catering prior to that, and for a few years, and we were like, okay, this is the goal. Like, food truck, is where it's at.
Mhm. And so you all started like selling like platters. You were doing, I think you told me like at a tent and stuff like that.
We
You guys started
did.
small.
Yes. We literally, people say, made out the mud, like the mud on the side of the road, with the tent. Like, we used to sell egg rolls in front of this place downtown in Wake Forest, and sometimes at a gas station we would set up a tent. We had some fryers out there, and we were just like selling egg rolls and fries, selling egg rolls and fries. Sometimes we had the kids out there with us. They were sitting over to the side, and we were having people that driving like 2 hours out to come back, like, to our egg rolls. We were doing it, like, I think Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, like on the weekends, because we both were still working. I was
Wow.
working in customer service, some type of call center, like at home environment. My husband was working for a moving company, um, which was hard work. So yeah, we would do that on the weekends. We were working like 7 days a week.
Do y'all hear this dedication, this commitment? Yeah. And so I'm sure you've been through some things like adversities that probably made you want to not continue to do this or give up more so. So can you share some of those things you went through?
Sure. So, one thing, so we were like, had this dream of a food truck. We also have, so one of my friends I grew up with, she's a pharmacist. Her name is Dr. Tisha Turnbull. Shout out to her. We talked about her. She believed in our dream. So she's like our silent partner in it, right? So we were like, okay, we're going to go get this trailer built. We're looking up these businesses, and we find a place in Virginia. So we go to Virginia. We pay for a brand new trailer to be built. It was some issues come with the trailer, like, it was supposed to be ready at a certain time. It wasn't. Then we finally got the trailer. We were excited. We're like, okay, it's time. Like, we're finally here. And then we go to get a permit. And basically the trailer failed, like, terribly, with Wake County. One of the problems was that Virginia's guidelines are different than Wake County. Wake County is very, very strict on food trucks because we have a lot of amazing food trucks
Mhm.
out here. So they want to make sure everyone's safe. They want to make sure that we're safe, that, they're able to operate, that it makes sense. And I mean, she was just like, this isn't right. That's not right. It probably was like another $15,000 worth of
Oh,
upgrades on
wow.
the trailer that we spent just about that on. So that was pretty sad. I'm pretty sure I cried coming home. And then we're like, well, what are we gonna do? Like, do we want to try to get upgrades on the trailer or not? And I think the trailer sat for like a year. So we're still catering and everything, and the trailer's just sitting there in our driveway. We come out the house, take a picture with it, go look in the trailer every once in a while, play some music. We had like Bluetooth speakers. It was fun, but like, we couldn't operate the trailer at all. So we're just catering, and then we're doing meal prep. And then basically COVID happens, right? So at this time we had both gone into business, like we're both gonna do this 100%, like this was fully what we were doing. And then COVID happened. So catering was non-existent because people weren't having events. You know, everything was shut down. And we were doing meal prep at the time as well. So we really started going hard with the meal prep. We were pushing out about like 100 meals a week, meal prepping for our customers. We were making the food, you know, shopping for the food, delivering the food. You know, we were coming out there to you, you know, delivering that night, doing pickups. Like we were doing it all. And I think we we're doing meal prep maybe like 2 years or yeah, something like that. About 2 years we were doing the meal prep. So we're doing meal prep. Um, COVID happens. There's catering non-existent. And then we're like, you know what? We got to get this trailer out of here. Let's try to sell this trailer to somebody. So, you know, and get a new trailer from someone who might be like Wake County approved. So we found somebody, I think I listed it like on Facebook or something like that. We meet up with someone and their county really had no regulations for what a food trailer had to be. I always say like, I don't want to offend the person who bought or anything, but I'm like, you probably set up with like a tent and a cooler and they could probably operate like that, you know, in some other places. So that's what they wanted. They liked it. You know, it was able to work for someone. It just couldn't work for what we were trying to do. So someone bought that trailer. And then we like, okay, you know what? We need to get this food truck. Like one, wouldn't even be considering a restaurant because everything that restaurants were going through at that time being shut down. And we're like, let's just try to like find someone, put some of this money we got from this trailer and some other money that we have, you know, into a truck. So, or another trailer. So we go find someone who's on the Wake County list. They give us all these hopes and dreams and promises about this truck. They show us all these trucks that they say they did. And we're like, okay, so we're giving a deposit. And then things are coming back and they're like, oh, you know, this is a little more than what it was supposed to be, which with COVID, like equipment did go up. It was hard to find. Shipping definitely had delays. But now we're like 6 months in and we're like, well, what's, you know, where's our truck? It's supposed to take 6 months to be ready. We were like, oh, by our birthdays, both our birthdays are September. Like, okay, we want to get our truck by then. No truck. So we're like messaging. Eventually we're like, hey, let's set up this date. We're going to come in and see what's going on, like see what's happening with our truck. Someone's putting the sad emoji. It was very sad, the crying emoji.
Yeah.
So we go in and he has to sit down and we're all dressed up because we're thinking we're going to take some pictures with our truck and like this is going to be part of our portfolio and just memories. And he's like showing us some truck. And he's like, so, you know, we had your truck and it was almost done. And he shows us some truck like catching on fire. And we're like, excuse me. And this was my husband, like, go. My husband was not happy. Okay. He was just like, you know, you could have called us, let us have fire showing us this truck, you know, but this is a conversation that we should have had when this occurred. Honestly, I don't know the particulars about it, but it seemed like some shady stuff was going on with that, you know. So then he shows us a new truck and he's like, this is your truck now, but we had got this truck and it took time. We're going to put your stuff in. And this time, at this point, we're too much into it. We're probably about 20,000 plus paid to this guy that I spoke to people as far as litigation and things like that. It would take time. It would take more money and no one's even to say that we would get, you know, our money back. So we're like, okay, you got a month to get our equipment in this truck, blah, 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 blah. So basically our truck was supposed to be ready in September of 2020. I believe we got our truck back in June of 2021. And they guarantee that you'll pass inspection. And we went for the inspection, failed our inspection on things. Stuff was just not right with this truck, failed again. We took it back to him, failed again, took it back to him, failed again. Eventually we had to find a whole new person, shell out more money for things that should have been taken care of just so we could pass. And like we still now go back and get updates to the truck from the new builder. That's who's going to be building our second truck or trailer that we plan to get, you know, maybe in the next year or something like that. So that definitely did.
I'm sorry. So during that moment, did you just, at that point, did you think that this may not be what God has for you?
We definitely like, was very sad, like cried, was just like, this is happening again. Because, you know, the first trailer we had an issue with, the second trailer is happening again. And we're just like, what is going on, you know? And at the same time, we're like in a pandemic, you know what I mean? So where restaurants are closed, but food trucks are absolutely operating. So it was a lot. It was really a lot. But we have our kids, we have our family who believes in us, we have our parents. We had to make some phone calls to like, could you slide me a little something here and there, who they believe in us and they definitely like help us out here and there. But it was hard.
Right. And so definitely during COVID and just overall, sometimes when you're going through things, you have to shift. You have to make some changes and change in direction to get to where you're going. And so like with COVID hitting, of course you had to shift. Then with your food truck not happening like you wanted it to, you had to shift. And then also you experienced another significant loss, which was the death of your father. And you had to shift. And you said that was a hard time as well. So what made you hold on despite all these adversities? And what made you keep going?
I think I'm just built a certain way. I come from people who I don't see really fold, who always made things happen. And personally in my life, like things haven't been ideal. Most times things haven't gone, as I would have thought or like picture perfect or what someone else would have thought. But I'm really not a quitter. Like in the end, I honestly always believe that things are going to work out. Like I really am. Say like cup half full or something. Sometimes I honestly should be worried, like a little more worried than I am. But I'm like, nope, it's gonna work out. Like I already know, like I'm about to, like the next 3 to 5 years, we're probably going to be a millionaire. We're going to have multiple trucks, franchise, several different businesses and things of that nature. And I really don't know how we're getting there right now, but I know it's going to happen. Like I'm always like have a feeling that it's going to work out. And truthfully, my beliefs, like I have a praying mom, praying family members, a great church family and everything like that. So I honestly, truly believe that I'm a good person. My husband's a good person and that, we can't lose. Like, that's just really how I feel about it.
I love that.
Thank you. I might cry though. I might cry. I might cuss because I can cuss too. But yeah, I just know it's gonna happen. Like it's all gonna work out.
Right. And it's just so important that again that you have a vision. I'm a visual person. Like I set goals for myself every year, if it's financially or career wise. And usually I do accomplish it because it's in my face. I see it on a regular basis. I hang it somewhere I can see it. Some people do vision boards because if you don't have a vision, what are you striving for? What are you living
for sure.
What are you waking up every morning for if you don't have a vision? And so your vision can't come to fruition if you're not working towards it or if you don't even know what it is. And so I think this probably helps people to define their purpose too when you know where you're going. And so I just want you to talk a little bit about business ownership. So how did you educate yourself how to run a business basically, or how to get a food truck?
Yeah. Honestly, it's a work in progress. We did go to a food truck entrepreneur class here in was it Wake County or with Food Truck Chicken Q. Everyone has heard of them. They have several trucks. They're a husband and wife team as well. So we went to their class and they honestly gave us a list of do's and don'ts. And I promise you, we looked at that and we still did some of that stuff that they said don't do. And it's like it's like a learning like curve or things like that. I really don't know everything. And honestly, we're at the point where we need to kind of get some help because we need I'm not a bookkeeper. I'm not a CPA. I don't know anything about that. And I really should probably step away from all that stuff. So this year we're really trying to we're like, okay, we're getting to this point. We've been in business, I think fully 3, maybe going on 4 years. And it's like, it's time to have people to do things for us because I literally wake up, I'm like the secretary, also the face of construction, like me and my husband. But I'm like the chef too. Like my husband and I, we both cook everything. We go shopping, we cook, but then I have to do, all the customer service and stuff like that. So I would definitely tell people that just don't try to do it all yourself. And we're working now. We're going to be hiring very soon to get a good team together to help take some stuff off of us to make us be able to have more time to give to our kids and to our family and just really to like stepping out, like, ourselves, like us going out somewhere. My kids like give me a thumbs up in the background. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, like, your in-house live audience, right?
Yeah, right. Okay. But yeah, so it's kind of like I really don't know all things. I know how to cook. I know customer service from working in pretty much every type of call center environment that you could think of, from collections to insurance to anything. So flooring. And my husband knows hard work. He worked for a moving company, and that is some serious hard work. So we put that with our skills of cooking, and that we've been successful. And we just want people to enjoy it and try to do right by people. Honestly,
right. And it's so interesting how when you do kind of reach your goals, when you look back at things you went through and the experiences, like you said, customer service, you probably never would have thought that would come in handy, and that is now in your business, and you needed that, you know, to help you in what you're doing now. So everything is a process. Everything happens for a reason. And so we have to embrace those things that happen to us. And because at the end of the day, you never know when it's going to come in handy. I always tell people too, don't ever burn bridges from where you've been or anything like that, because you never know when you may need something or may have to go back or reach back there. So, so with starting a business and maintaining it, obviously it takes money. And also there's a chance you may lose money, as you talked about with your truck. So how did you plan or prepare for this? Did you guys use your own money, or did you get a loan or investors or anything like that?
Yes, we used our money. Again, we had a silent partner. We have a silent partner. Some of her money and a loan, a little bit of a loan, and all that put together helped us to get where we are as far as the truck right now. I would say the catering really did well for us, like doing like kind of the food service math and things like that. I would say most times we were coming in, you know, the green or whatever for different events. But yeah, so yeah, we used a variety of different things and to help us kind of get where we are. I'm sure we have like cleared out our savings and things like that, and like hope for the best too. But it is all, you know, really starting to come together and work out.
And
but we're risk takers. You have to be a risk taker.
Right.
You know,
I was gonna say that, be a risk taker.
We've really taken some serious risks for sure.
Right. And also I think you have to be versatile too. You have to have a lot of different things going on. Like you said, you guys do catering, you did meal prep. So it's a lot of different things. You have your hands in different buckets and just not in one thing.
Yeah.
So you have like a bigger portfolio, or, you know, saying, to look at when it comes to getting your revenue. So what are some lessons learned or the best advice you can give someone who is maybe a new business owner, or someone who may be wanting to start a business?
Well, something I think is great. I honestly think that if you have an idea and it seems like a good idea to you, you really should stick with it. Because honestly, when we kind of first were saying like we're getting a food truck, I remember a couple of family members like, what? Like, you sure? You know, and even like after the one truck didn't work out, so I'm like, you don't want to go back to work, you know, or something like that. So if you have a dream and you're able to like try to work hard, I would definitely say stick with it, because those same family members and everyone now, they're so supportive. They love us. They come out, they support, they want to pay for stuff. They're not just like, oh, give me this for free, or they can help, you know, want to help in any way. Like we did that event, excuse me, for 3,000 people. And we literally went up to church and we made an announcement. Our pastors had us come up there, and they were, and we were like, hey, we have this event coming up. And we were like, who wants to work? Now we can only pay you for about 2 hours or whatever, or if you want to volunteer. And I promise you, like, our family members drove from New Jersey to help us out, volunteer. Members from church volunteered. Like, some people, you know, helped, but I'm sure they went above and beyond whatever they got paid for, you know. And it was a lot of us out there. It was hot. Like, it was a very tough day. It was not easy work. Yeah, so
that's amazing. So so speaking of that, so now we're at the point where we're going to have some questions and answers, Q&A, guys. So I'm going to give the audience a chance. We have quite a few people on here. So ask Elayna any questions that you may have. I see a lot of great comments.
Yeah, come on, we have 20 people who wants to ask the question first. Hopefully I have an answer for you.
So I'm gonna give you guys a little time, because last time I was told I went too fast when it was Q&A time.
Oh.
They didn't have time to type in their questions. So I'm gonna give y'all a bit more time.
Hi everyone. I have been seeing your comments. I've been laughing and joking. One comment when I was saying about customer service, like, I used to work for my aunt at a community college, and she was the director of the college. And she literally had to fire me because I was just kept calling out, and I thought probably because it was my aunt, you know. And she was like, yeah, you can come out, you can stay out, actually, like, don't come back. But she did hire me again. I did well, you know, but that was one of the things. Like, there's no calling out when you're on business. It's like, call to who? Sometimes I joke or try to call my husband's phone, like, hey, I'm calling out today. He's like, yeah, okay.
All right. So we had Erica. Hey, E, you're your sister. And by the way, if you remember my first She.E.R.O spotlight, we highlighted Erica's business, Shayla V. She has some of the best body butters,
Yes, she
lotions for your
does. My skin is
skin
very,
care.
look at my skin now, very clear. She's
Yeah, it's
awesome.
glowing. So her question is, and actually this was one of my questions I forgot to ask, E, so thank you for bringing it up. Elayna, how do you get self-care time?
I really don't. Sometimes I hide in the bathroom, and even then people are finding me. They're knocking, they're looking for me. Really, but tomorrow I am off tomorrow, and I told myself, oh, it's a lot of questions. Okay, I told myself that I'm gonna go maybe get my toes and my nails done and try to like treat myself. So I think by myself, and I think I'm gonna go do that, yeah, and try to just like take a moment. But it's hard. And then really, it's like if I have some spare time, I love for Rashad and I to go out somewhere. Like if we have time, I want us to like get some time together. Or I'm always thinking about someone else. Someone else always needs something.
Right. And so speaking of self-care, and that's important for everybody, you have to take out the time to, and I call it me time, where you get yourself an emotional reset, even if it's for 10 minutes, like you said, if you're hiding in the bathroom, because we all need that time to ourselves where we can just tune out the outside stressors and things like that. And we just relax, if it's meditation or something, or going for a walk or just or praying or something like that. We all need me time, because when you're having all these different things going on and you're not taking care of yourself, you can't really take care of others if your cup is empty. So it is important that you set aside that time, even if it's just a day and a half, just going out for like an hour or two for that day, like you said, to get your nails and your toes done or something like that. That is very important that you practice your self-care.
For sure.
Gisetta has a question, which I'm with her. When y'all gonna bring back meal prep? I'm over here struggling
never.
too.
No, yeah. I wish we could bring back meal prep, because again, I said we're doing about 100 meals a week, and that was actually kept it. It was nice, but we just don't have enough time in the day to do meal prep. Like we wish we could clone ourselves and still do all these other things, but I feel like we couldn't have anyone make the meals the way you guys were used to us. You guys were so spoiled. Okay, someone didn't like pepper, somebody didn't like red sauce, someone didn't want a little bit of salt, somebody wanted this. So it's like I didn't want the quality of our food to go down. You know what I mean? Honestly, and I didn't want to entrust anyone else with that. I have sent y'all over to an awesome catering company, meal prep company. Just said that, okay, and you need to order from them. But yeah, honestly, when we get our ghost kitchen, I don't even know how much catering we will really be doing at that point. I don't want to say too much about that, but catering might be the next one getting the chop.
But you made a good point though, because when you're sourcing out for other people, it may mess up the quality of
Yeah,
what
like everyone
you
likes
created.
Rashad's grilled chicken and his seafood, and then they like my
Right.
sides or like my baked chicken or mac and cheese, things that we are making. So it's kind of like, and then we have our seasonings that we're using. So it's going to be different when someone else tries to do that.
Exactly. So we have another question by Shy. What has been your best marketing tool? That's a good one.
Yeah. So they say the number one thing is word of mouth. And honestly, like I said, from when we started probably 10 years or 8 years ago under that tent, we were at that time building up customers and saying, hey, that truck is coming. And people were asking, every year probably, the truck's coming soon. It's like 5 years. So word of mouth, just from doing, providing excellent service, great food for people in a timely manner. And then social media really, we just post and post and post and post and post. I mean, we literally are working about probably 5 days out of the week, and we try to make a post and take some pictures and post that. Now, I wish we had a social media marketer or something like that, because we really need help in that area with doing like the cool videos and things like that to take it up another notch. But as far as marketing, yeah, it's all social media, and just we joined the chamber. We're Wake Forest chamber members. So if you have a networking or chamber in your area, they've been very supportive. They've been awesome. So they also get the word out for us.
Awesome. So we have another, yeah. Thanks, Mom. Yeah, I'm appreciative of her wanting to be my She.E.R.O, so I appreciate
thank you.
her.
I do that.
So Emily says, what kind of systems, if any, have you put in place to help streamline your workflow? Oh, that's another good one.
That's a good question. I'm about to write that down, and hopefully I can answer that, because I really don't know. I'm really far from a type A. Like I'm probably a type Z, kind of like just kind of winging it, honestly. But we pretty much know, like if we have an event, like most times I'm in the stores very like every day. I'm in different grocery stores, and we like, no, we have to shop, we have to get this done, I have to send out emails. I mean, I kind of just do know, I follow up like 3 days before an event, follow up after the event, then send out our menu for the food truck. The system, I probably need to actually write something down and get a system. So thank you for that. I'm gonna put that in my pocket.
And then Sharon wants to know, she said, I think I may have missed it, but when will you be publishing your cookbook?
That's my aunt and godmother, and she's supposed to be helping me. She told me that I can voice to her all my recipes and she would write them down and type them. So that's why she's asking that question, because she has offered her services. She has even been helping me as at our administrative assistant position as well. Thank you so much. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna get with you on that, Aunt Sharon, hopefully by December.
And Chanel says, no question, but I think it's just amazing how you are there for your family and business. It isn't easy. You're making it look like it is. You're inspiring. Love you. That's so sweet.
Thank you. That's my best friend. That's one of my best friends. Thank you, Chanel,
So
for
sweet.
being on.
And then we have Charlena who says, will you travel to other states with the food truck and ghost kitchens? Oh, that's a good idea.
That's my cousin, Elayna, in New Jersey. Our food truck is very old, and we told you that was a serious process getting that. So we really try to stay within the 30-minute radius from our house, because you never know what could possibly happen. When we get our food trailer, we definitely will travel around. We have to come back home to New Jersey because you guys show so much love, and we love to come out there. We also want to maybe come to ATL in different places. We really want to franchise out our truck. So how you see some of these other trucks that have franchised out, because who doesn't want egg rolls, loaded wings, loaded, fries and wings. So hopefully in the next 3 to 5 years, we get a franchise so we can have our truck in your cities and your locations. And then the ghost kitchen, so that's going to be here in Wake Forest, but the idea and the menu that we're going to have is something that can really be in like arenas and things like that. So the next step, we might try to get ourselves in one of the arenas here, and then maybe, somewhere near you as well.
Yes. And thank you, Jersey, representing in this chat. And so I just thought of another question too, Elayna. So I know when you talked about, sharing your vision with people, and at first you had some naysayers. So would you say it's a good idea to share your vision with people?
Well, okay. So if you're a person like me who really doesn't really care about what people say, I mean, I've just been like that my whole life, then you can feel free to share your vision. But if you're someone who is like looking for other people to accept it or be your hype man, or, then I would say maybe keep it to yourself, because I don't think anyone is really going to see what you see at that time, So like, again, if you have thick skin and you can be like, okay, thank you for your input. But I'll show you, that type of attitude. Sure, you can share. I want to share with too many people, and then someone might steal your idea at the same time, depending upon who you share it with. So you do want to be cautious with that.
Exactly. So now we've come to the giveaway time. So Elayna has 2 giveaways we're going to give to 2 special people. So the rules of the game is we're going to ask a question, and you have to, whoever responds first in the chat, no abbreviations. You have to spell it correctly. You have to spell the answer correctly and no abbreviations. I'm going to repeat that. And so again, whoever responds first. So Elayna, I'm gonna let you give them the first question. What's the question? I think I have mine. And if you don't have mine, I can ask one first.
I have a question. Oh man. Okay. So we're opening up. This is gonna be a 2-part question. Let's see if you guys were really listening. So we're opening up a ghost kitchen. What is the name of our restaurant in the ghost kitchen? How do you spell it? And also, when did I say it will be opening up?
Oh, that's a good one. Yes, that's a 2-part question. First one to respond. And help me check this chat, make sure I don't miss.
Right, I really don't want any of my family members, and I might go to the second person that they
Let's see.
Come on, I'll repeat that question because I don't see an answer yet. So
okay, we got for Sasha, Crumbstruction Express. Is that right?
It is. It is.
But you have to have the other part too, Sasha, though. It's a 2-part question.
Yes. And when will it be opening up? My husband is coming and smiling. He's listening now.
And just tell us their Crumbstruction Express in December.
Do you want to ding your sister?
She got wrong. She got it wrong or right?
Wrong.
You got it wrong.
I said cookbook coming in December.
Anyone
I might have to go with Sasha. I don't know. Ding, ding,
We'll give
Do
it
we have
one
a
more.
timer?
So August.
Oh
Sasha
yeah,
said
yeah.
August.
Sasha's right. I did say the fall. She got it right.
Yeah.
Good
So Sasha
job.
is the winner.
Yes.
So my question is for the next one. So I forgot. Tell me what she wins. What does Sasha win?
Okay, so Sasha, you're awesome. Erica, don't even try. So Sasha, you're awesome, and you won. So for our out of town winners, we do sauces and seasonings again. So we're gonna send you a bundle kit with all of our seasonings as well as our sauces. That's my cousin too, Sasha. Thank you. Love you.
Yes. So the next question is, how long ago did Elayna envision her food truck? How many years ago?
Thank you.
My daughter over here, she know the answer. I'm like, be quiet.
Well, you're gonna have to bring her for the second prize then if she got it right.
Sharon said 9. Ding, ding, ding. She's right.
Yeah, she is right.
So Sharon is the winner.
Sharon's in New Jersey. I don't want to say is it Che or Shy? Shy. Where's Shy in North Carolina?
No, she's in Florida.
Oh man.
So you got 2 out of towners.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so it was 9 years.
It was 9 years.
So those are the winners. So Sasha and Sharon. So I just want to say, Elayna, that you are a S.H.E.R.O.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
You're welcome, because you have sacrificed for your children. You have healed from your past hurts, your adversities. You're evolving into what God wants you to be. You have revealed your truth today here with us, and you are out there obtaining your goals and happiness.
Thank you. It is a work in process. I'm definitely trying.
Yes, and so we're going to be looking out for them food truck franchises. If you're in the Raleigh, Durham area, because the food truck gets around now, go on her Facebook page or her Instagram so you can see the schedule when the food truck is around. Make sure you pull up and order because the food is delicious. So I'm just so proud of you, and I just want to thank you so much for being my S.H.E.R.O. I do appreciate it.
Thanks, and I just want to appreciate everyone for coming out.
Yeah, I appreciate everyone who joined tonight and enjoyed the laughs, and I hope that you all have a good night. Please feel free to tune into my next S.H.E.R.O, which is next month. I'm working on the next one, and she's also going to be a treat. So make sure you follow me on my page so you can know all the updates and what's going on new. All right.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I want to say thank you to you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for doing this. Because sometimes, we're just going through the motions. I'm like, S.H.E.R.O, when you first contacted me, like, what could I possibly talk about on there? But thank you so much for doing this spotlight and for, lifting up other women and letting us share our stories. So thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And just to everybody out there, if you have a vision, stick to it. Go for it. Don't let anything hold you back. Fear, and like Elayna was saying, stay prayed up.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Alicia. Bye.
Thank you, Elayna. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye-bye.